Is this issue of child sexual exploitation predominantly a male Pakistani heritage problem?
What I would say is, and it isn't a simple answer, but I'll keep it short. What I would say is that there are child abusers in every community. So whether it's a white middle class family, there is abuse in every community, whether it's the Catholic Church, whether it's Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein, child abuse will never go away. What I have found in my experience, and I believe 100% to be the truth, is that the grooming gangs are made up predominantly of Pakistani Muslim men from a lower class within Pakistan. There are occasionally, I've come across it, Iranian, Iraq, Afghanistan, but in general, the facts show that that is the makeup of the abuser. I think it's worth mentioning here that strangely or suspiciously, whatever you would like to say, the authorities do not record the ethnicity of the offenders because they know full well that that is the case. You only have to look at all the cases that have now been exposed throughout the country since I started to talk out about it. And the photographs will show the ethnicity of those offenders. This is not me. I am not racist. For me, an abuser needs the law to deal with him. The children that they traditionally abuse are very vulnerable white children. Now, on Augusta, those children were all in care. And I use that word because that's the word that we refer to children who are not living in a family, but they are not cared for. They are neglected on a disgraceful scale. It breaks my heart to see how they are not protected. But even the children on my second big case, it was the Rochdale abuse scandal, which, I worked on to bring it into the public arena as program consultant on 3 girls. But in the Rochdale case, those children who were being abused by that grooming gang were not living in care. They were living in their homes, often one-parent families, often very difficult backgrounds. And the children were vulnerable because they were not in a family that would necessarily be capable of fighting that child's corner. So a mum might have had a nervous breakdown. There may be drug addiction in the family. There may be absent fathers. So that made them vulnerable too. And the abusers don't care where they get their victims from, as long as there's not going to be a big fuss kicked up about them from other people around. So they are very clever, very sophisticated, have gone unchecked for decades, and so have developed really advanced and sophisticated ways of trying to avoid detection, prosecution, accountability. But that is not the fault of those children. And as a society, I believe that we have to protect those who need protecting. And the job of the police and the criminal justice system is to prosecute those abusers, not to turn a blind eye. And back in 2008, I now know, I didn't know back then myself, but I now know from something that a former prosecutor, chief prosecutor, made public, is that the government sent out a circular from the Home Office to all police forces in 2008 to say, do not prosecute or do not focus on these crimes, because they were frightened of stirring up racial tension within the communities. So whilst I would say that, yes, in relation to the grooming gangs, I do believe that these children are seen as a commodity. I am not by any means saying that all abusers are from Pakistan. And I'm also saying that there are many people within that community who are good people. I would like to see the community itself stand up against this and be very vocal about that this is not right. That is where I would like to see more from that community itself, if I'm honest.